What's going on, YouTube family? I'm back with another video. Just some words of encouragement. If you're new to the channel, let me break it down for you. I don't water no grass. I don't trim no bushes. I ain't even fertilizing your tree. All I am is... Today's video, it's gonna be real quick and real simple, real easy. Nice little glide over some ice, you know what I'm saying? As you saw in the title, it's about if you break one sin, if you're not following one thing in the Bible, is that okay? Is it okay to God that you like, oh, I commit adultery, but at least I don't steal? Because I remember it was a story, and I'm gonna get to the chapters real quick. I remember a story, I don't know if it's in the Bible or not, but I do believe it is, about a rich businessman, and a tax. If you know the story, you can help me out. Go ahead, comment. You can help me out. Long story short, the rich man and the taxer, they was in the same thing. And the rich man, he was praying to God, saying how he did this, he did that, he did this. Oh, look at this. And he looked at the tax guy, the guy who takes your taxes. And he was like, oh, glad I ain't like that. Good thing I don't sin like this. But the tax guy, he on his knees begging God for forgiveness, because that's how you should be, because we all fall short. We all fall short. Ain't nobody perfect. We should be perfect, and we can be perfect. But there's no one, the Bible tells you, if somebody say that they do not sin, they're a liar and the truth is not in them. And that's 100% fact. Now, I'm not saying you can't make a mistake, but it's a difference between a mistake and something that's repetitive. You know what I'm saying? A sinner and somebody sinning. A sinner is somebody who know what they're doing, but they keep doing it. If you say, Lord, forgive me for being a drunkard, but you know you about to go drink again, you're a sinner. It's a difference, right? So what did the Bible have to say about that? We're going to get into it. James chapter 2 verse, where we at? 9? Man, I'm going to just get right into the verse. No, it's 9 then. All right. So follow along. If you ain't got your Bible, you already behind. Go ahead. I'll wait. Okay, James chapter 2 verse 9. And it's like verse 9 through we're going to say, I'm going to go to 12. Verse 9 through 12. 9. But if ye have respect to person, ye commit sin, and ye are convinced of the law of transgressors. For whosoever shall keep the whole law, and yet offend one point, he is guilty of all. For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law. So ye speak, and so, okay, my bad. So speak ye, and so do, as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty. Now just in case you missed it, because I know I messed up, I apologize. I ain't the best reader, but we're going to go ahead and start at the 9. If ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin, and are convinced of the law of transgressors. In other words, if you're listening to somebody who's a sinner and you're saying, hey, yeah, you know what? I don't think that's really a sin. You're a transgressor, especially if it says it in the book. We're going to go to 9. For whoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend at one point, he is guilty of all. That answers the questions right there. So if that's all you're looking for, 5 minutes in, we already in it. You know what I'm saying? So 5 minutes in, you already know. If ye offend one point, he is guilty of all. So if you doing one thing wrong, if you sinning in one thing, God ain't gonna be like, oh, okay. I mean, he just breaking one of my commandments. He ain't, no. He's saying if you did one thing, you might as well do all. And the next, it gives you an example. Because he said, which is Jesus Christ or God, whichever way you want to title him, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. And it says, now if thou commit no adultery, yet thou kill, you still transgressor. Just because you ain't doing what the tax are doing, don't mean you ain't doing your own sin. And I find this interesting because we have a lot of people that claim to be Christian. The KKK, they claim to be Christian. The Hebrew Israelites, they claim to be Christian. But the difference is, it's not about what you're saying. Because anybody can say anything. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can say anything, but it's about, are you following the law? Are you following the commandments? Because if not, I look at it like this. When I find something's wrong, it may be sometimes, like I said, I get beat up by the Bible, you know, and I go through stuff. That's why I ain't made videos in so long, because when I read the Bible, it convicts me. I'm like, but God, I want to get married again. I don't want the same wife. I want a different one. But God, I can't get drunk once. But God, I can't just be smoking weed. I can't get complacent and gluttony. Because that's all weed really do. If you smoking weed, you be gluttoning. It's just a pathway. Because then once you open your mind, especially people who smoke a lot of weed on a consistent basis, they open their mind up to all kinds of demons. And I'm one of them. I'm the type of person where when I was smoking so much weed, I was believing in 777 and, you know, like angel numbers. That's of the devil. All that's of the devil. Ain't nowhere in the Bible it say anything about no God favorite number is 777. But in Revelation it say like can't 7, like, okay. These are 7 things. He didn't say, and I love this number. I like this number. But he mentions it so many times when they ask how many times shall I forgive somebody? No, he didn't. He didn't even bring it out. He didn't bring up the 7s. His disciple brought up the 7. How many times shall I forgive my brother? 7 times. And then Jesus said 7 times 70. He ain't that don't mean that was his favorite number. So long story short, if you going, it's not easy. It's not an easy path. You know what I'm saying? And you got to pick and choose on who you want to please. Would you rather please God and follow his law? Or do you want to be a people pleaser? Because he already tell you, people pleasers, they have their reward. Hell. That's all that is. Whether it's hell on earth or when you die, physical hell. Because our biggest issue right now, I'm seeing, and I'm hearing from everybody, I mean, no matter who I talk to, they all saying the same thing. They talk about Revelations and the end of the time coming, and look at the Euphrates River drying up and the angels being released, and bro, what are you talking about? God can pull your card right now. We get so distracted by the outside world that we forget. As you could be watching this video, I could be making this video and never get to post it. You could die at any moment. Do you really want to die trying to make an excuse to God saying, well, I wanted to do it, but it was just so hard and I couldn't really believe it. And you know, this person wasn't going to let me, and this person was saying this and this person is saying that. He say, test their spirit. You know how you test their spirit? This is how you test their spirit. So I listen to Pastor Geno Jennings. If you know him, give me that like button, because you know he don't care about Bible. He want Bible. In other words, I'm not going to tell you nothing that's differentiating the Bible from God, because it's all coming from the same place. I ain't going to tell you my opinion, because my opinion don't matter. If I gave you my opinion, you know what my opinion would say? Do as thou will. If I had to tell you what to do, if I had to write the Bible, that would be my Bible. It'd be literally, matter of fact, I'll make it hard copy, hard copy with one page, and I'll make it colorful. I'll make it decorative. I might make the one page gold plated. I'm gonna have a hard copy gold plated page, and in the middle of it, it's gonna say, "Do as thy will." That will be my Bible. and this is me being as sincere as possible, because my flesh, it go wild. It be wild, especially if you're not used to doing these things. You know, if you're not used to doing things, you have to get adapted to it. And the Bible is one of the hardest things. That's why people always denying it. That's why he said when that time come, many people gonna say, "Lord, Lord," and what he say? "Depart from me." Why? Because we saying, "Lord, Lord," but are we really following what he's saying? Are we even doing what he want to do because we want to get to heaven? I made a video yesterday saying that our goal should be to make it to heaven. That is it. That's all he wants. The kingdom of God is where we should be aiming. And if that ain't where you aiming at, and you trying to do stuff, because people think, oh, I'm gonna get a charity, or I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. God don't care about none of that. You give all your money away, okay? You ain't following my word. You ain't following my law. Who are you? I don't know you. YMC. I don't know how to do it. But that's all I have. Quick video. I got some nachos waiting on me. I'm ready to get down and grubbing. I just had to come and let y'all know what James had to say, because ain't no way y'all really think that God gonna let y'all slide. See, people don't really read their Bible. People reading only the New Testament. Don't read the New Testament. Read God. Read that Old Testament. People be trying to debate if Jesus is God. How about you just go read the Old Testament then? Because if y'all read the Old Testament, like for instance, people don't know the book of Joshua. If you don't know the book of Joshua, you have to go read the book of Joshua. But the book of Joshua not in the Bible. Well, 66 books ain't it. I'm letting you know this right now. If you think there's only 66 books, you probably losing already. Because the book of Joshua, it get down and dirty. It lets you know the little details that they want to keep out. The Roman Catholics, that's where, if you don't know, that's where the Holy Bible came from. The Roman Catholics, they took out books that they wanted to, you know the backstory. So in Joshua, for example, Abraham. Everybody know Abraham. If you don't know Abraham, he's the father, Abraham's bosoms. All right, not the father, but he is like the beginning. He's where God came back at. The comeback of God, that's him. Because other than that, God was sitting back and watching us. He was going to let us destroy ourselves. But then he found favor in Abraham. Abraham had a brother. Now what happened was, when Abraham was born, some king had a vision that Abraham was going to, be born, and he was down his family line. He's going to have somebody who's going to overthrow all the kings, and he's going to be the King of Kings. Jesus, right? So the Pharaoh at that time ordered Abraham to be killed. So when he went to kill Abraham, they gave him he didn't want to just kill the baby, because that's harsh-ish. He wanted to kill the baby. How to put that? He was going to kill that baby dying, but he wanted to offer the dad, I think his name was Terah, some money. And Terah was like, "Oh no, this is my only son, and this and that, that and this." And then, he was like, "Oh yeah, I understand. How much you want for the baby?" So when he went home, he switched babies. He didn't give the king Abraham. He gave him, like, I think the servant's baby or something, which is still kind of grimy if you think about it. But hey, it saved us. So, and that king grabbed the baby by his feet and slammed the head on the ground, right, to instantly just kill the baby. But then later on, finding out, like, oh, wait, this the baby I'm supposed to kill. So when he found that out, he called the dad back in. He said, "What's up? What's going on? I gave you money for a baby, and you didn't even give me the right baby." So then Abraham said, it wasn't my idea, it was my son's idea, which was Abraham's older son. So then he had Abraham and his older son put to death. So what happened was for 3 days, they let this furnace burn so it could be at its hottest. And since it was at its hottest, they threw him in, they bound their hands, and they threw him in almost naked, just with like underwear on, basically. Now, most people would be like, well, God is a just God. So if Abraham was in there and his brother was also a good guy, no, it states his brother burnt to crisp. God didn't put his hand over his brother. He didn't do that. He let his brother burn right in front of him. He didn't care. Abraham was unscathed. Only thing that burned on Abraham was the rope that was holding his wrists and his feet. Other than that, he was walking around in the fire, acting like he was at a beach or something. So, and that's how everything got started. Everybody started worshiping Abraham's God, and they realized, oh, this is the real God, the creator of everything. So if you don't know, you should go read the book of Joshua. It is a long book, but it gives you up from the beginning to Moses. So you should go check that out. So to end the thing off with, end the video with, if you're gonna be Christian, and I say this from a very sincere point, if you're gonna be Christian and you really want to show God, you want to make it to the kingdom of heaven, and you don't care about none of this, because we care too much about friends and family. But he say you should be willing to hate your mom, your dad, your spouse, your sister, and your brother. He said you should be able to give up all that for me. And if you ain't, then who you really living for? Because if you ain't able to give up these things, you ain't gonna inherit the kingdom of God. You ain't gonna inherit the kingdom of heaven. Why? Why would he let you in when you more worried about people? People not gonna get you in heaven. I had to figure that out. I remember I used to be all shy and nervous to talk about God in front of people, and because cowards don't make it into heaven. It say that in the Bible. If you a coward, you ain't making it. If you afraid to share his word, do you really love him? That's like being married to somebody and they be like, who you married to? And you be like, them over there. Like who? It's like 18 people over there. You see what I'm saying? You can't be a coward. If you gonna love God, love God. Don't care about what your family say. Don't care about what your friends say. Don't care. Especially don't care about no stranger. Man, that was my biggest thing. I'm all on YouTube and people see in my face. I'm like, man, first off, this is how I see it. I'm on YouTube and I was all nervous, but I'm like, two things. A, most likely only Christians are going to watch my page. B, if an atheist, a Muslim, a Catholic, or any other religion try to pop up on a page, I'm really just interested in waiting for them to comment, because I'm trying to figure out why you watching a Christian page anyway. Especially if you atheist, you don't even believe in God. You don't even believe in God and you watching my page, which lets us know you want to, but something's holding you back. And most likely what it is you're afraid. You're afraid that most of y'all have hard hearts. Y'all harden your hearts. Because y'all will rather not believe because you think you've done dead too many wrong things. You think you're going to lose all your friends, which you will. You're going to lose family, which you will. People going to think you crazy, which they will, but who cares? Because at the end of the day, I found out most people who throw insults at me, don't smile half of the amount of time I be smiling. Anytime I talk to them, anytime I see them, they got this frown on their face. They always got a problem. They always got an issue. Not me. I be straight chilling because I know God got me. I know God, it be rough. I'll be reading the word and I'll see something I don't like. I promise you, it's rough. It's a rough road, but you got to stick with it. You can't say, oh, I'm not going to do this, but this might be okay. No, you can, for instance, you can follow every commandment he clearly say homosexuals, men who wear women clothes and women who wear men clothes, are an abomination. And I 100% guarantee that when he say that, he don't mean, even though you follow my commandments, I'ma still let you in, even though you do not. No. It ain't nothing against gay people. I ain't got nothing against gay people, by all means. The way you live is what I got something against. The way people live is what God got against you. He don't care how you is, because he know we not perfect. But he care about the effort you put in. How much effort are you putting in? Are you trying to be with him? Because if you not, what James chapter 2 verse 9 through 12 is really saying is, are you really his? Are you really his? Or are you just picking and choosing like a Pikachu? That's what I call them. I call them Pikachus. They pick and choose which Bible verse they want to read. They pick and choose which Bible verse they want to believe. They pick and choose which disciple. I remember telling somebody something about a woman pastor, and they said, oh, the authority over men. Paul wrote that. I'm like, Paul wrote a lot of them. Paul wrote a lot. So what, you ain't gonna believe majority of the book? Not majority, but you get what I'm saying. You ain't gonna so the books that Paul wrote, you just gonna disregard. No, you're not. And if you do, you a fool. I know the Bible said don't call people fools, but you clearly a fool. Because if you think you're gonna make it to heaven and Jesus gave Paul the authority, then you lost. You're losing. You're losing. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. At least comment why you did, or at least comment why you didn't. If you got any questions, hit me up. If you got any suggestions on what videos I was meaning to say that. If you have any suggestions, I got you. I'll study it, I'll read through the Bible, and I'll come with a video for you. Other than that, I'll catch y'all on that next video. It didn't stop.